Listen up, nerds and nerdettes, and we little nerdlings all. It's your buddy Big John and G, the Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Hello, and thank you all so much for spending a little bit of your time with me here at Two Gun Pixie. Thank you for checking out our series, Tabletop Takeout Tuesday. This is where I just like to point out reasons why I enjoy a game. It's not a review. It's just me telling you points about it. That because I like them, I think you may enjoy it also. Now, today's game is a reskinning. It's a skinning on an existing popular game. Now, Pandemic has been kicking butt on people's table for years now. It's a great game. It's a fantastic game. But what happens when the cultists invade instead of viruses? Well, I've had a lot of fun with the Pandemic Cthulhu game, and I want to tell you why. So why don't you join me down the table, and we'll talk about this. Now, the Pandemic game has been popular for some time now. It is a really interesting sort of worker placement, confinement. It's like an anti-escape game in a sense. I like to think of it that way sometimes, because you're keeping the viruses from outbursting, from escaping, right? But it's a fun game, no matter how you think about it. It is really fun. I've enjoyed every game I've played of Pandemic and Pandemic on the Brink. I'm a fan of Cthulian, Lovecraftian mythos things. I am. And when I found out that they were blending the two, that Z-Man Games is going to put a Cthulhu skin on Pandemic, I was curious but not sure. Well, I've bought the game, played the game enough times that I know that it does work. It really does. The blending of the mythos with the concept of pandemic and the rising of viruses and spreading across the world. It really does mix well. Even though they don't use the world, I kind of like the fact that they zoom in just on Lovecraft country, so to speak. It works that way. It works better. It keeps the game more contained, but it does everything about the working of the two systems blends together great. Instead of viruses randomly popping up at places and then outbursting to neighboring cities, this geniusly uses cultists instead. Now, I say geniusly, you think, well, John, what else would they use? No, that's not the fact. The fact I'm saying is genius is the way cultists and their spread are equated to a virus, and in the game the system works the same. It does. It's seamless. It absolutely makes sense in a very organic, flowing sort of way. Now, although there's nothing new or special or different that this brings to mythos-style investigators, they're typical. It's exactly what you would expect, which on one hand is great, on the other hand can be a little drab, humdrum. But here, they do a good job, and I don't know why it works so well this way, but they do a really good job making these characters fairly well balanced in a team, no matter what configuration you have them in. They always do They always do just as bad or just as good, I've noticed. I know that sounds funny putting it that way, but it's true, and I think some of you might understand what I mean phrasing it like that. But I think that they have a really good balance of the mix and match in this game. And you don't always find that in a lot of Lovecraftian investigator point of view games out there. Sometimes some mixes and matches just don't work. They did a good job here blending them together, I'd say. An aspect that this game delivers to me that I enjoy very much, and the original Pandemic had this as well, the feeling, the sensation. You can equate what's going on in the game with a slowly boiling pot, and you're the frog inside it. At the beginning of the game, you see the difficulties, but you're fine. You can pull off a few things here and there. It looks like you're starting off great. But then in one turn, maybe the third, maybe the fourth, in one turn, everything becomes questionable. Am I doing as good as I thought I was? And then the turn after that, you know that you were down a river without a paddle. The Reign of Cthulhu Pandemic game continues to deliver that, but I feel like here it ramps up faster. It builds up faster. And the reason I like that more is because you kind of start to get used to the build-up in Pandemic. And now with this, you go into it thinking you know the build-up, and it happens a lot faster than you planned. Yes, the greatest plans of mice and men, my friend. Or Shoggoths. If you're a Cthulhu fan, or you're a fan of Pandemic and you're looking for something with a little horror twist, maybe for Halloween time, Reign of Cthulhu, Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu, that's something you're going to need to check out. It'll tick off the boxes for you. I guarantee it will. Well, thank you very much for spending a little of your time with me. I'm your buddy Big John the G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. And my friends, I am out of here.